Hello everybody, Reaper X1 here again, back in the R&D, just setting up for another little bit of building, and I'm taking myself to the gymnastics. Trying my backflip action. I think I landed it alright. Not too shabby. But once again, welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy what you're about to see. And, if you do, you could always throw some fuel in the tank with the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, all the awesome you guys bring, and make sure you ding the bell on top of her. That really fills the tank. But as always, I started out wanting to build on my useless machine a bit. I know I'm going to get to that other build I started in the last episode in just a minute, but I want to get a little bit done here. So I got a little bit done, as you can see. A bit of an update here. And yeah, I'm going to make these resources fall off of them conveyors eventually. But as I've come to realize, that it's not as pretty as I had hoped. Like, look at that, they're jumping around, they're jumbling back and forth and that. And I'm thinking that's from the alternating conveyors I use to try and knock them off. So I'm going to try something different in a minute. But before I get to there, I'm going to let this run out a little bit while I'm talking at you. And I would like to just remind you of the Saturday Showcase, where if you're cool and original text, they could have their very own video right here on my channel. And, maybe we could have a bunch of fun doing it. Sharing the ideas and the inspirations can't be a bad thing, I don't believe. But if you do want to take part, all you need to do is find my link in the description for the Saturday Showcase auditions. Follow it on over to the Terra Tech forums. Which will take you to my thread. No, it'll even do it directly. And then you can post your in-game snapshots, save game there. Or both, whatever one, or both. It's always good. More info is better. So that's where I also ask for instructions. If there's any kind of complicated build you got going on that you want shown, please add instructions. It helps. And from there, I'll find it on the forum, and I'll make the best dang video out of it I can. And hopefully we will have a lot of fun like all the other ones have been so far. I think I'm at 21 of them I've done so far, and I got, at least 6 more I got coming. Still got to make some of them, though. This may even be one showcase in itself. But I kind of swore off doing showcases for my own, so I'll have to call it something else. The showcases are to show off every other techologist builds. That's kind of the way I keep them separate from my own, and hopefully everyone can have an easier time, and they'll all know that, yep, these are this person's. Not this other guy that goes by the name of Reaper. See, now look at that. That looks a lot nicer, the way they're falling down. That's what I'm after. And that's not no alternating conveyors underneath, so that was the ticket. Just have them slam into that and then fall off. So as the alternating conveyors, it kept wanting to help them pull through the blocks. So that's kind of good to know. See, they're working a lot nicer like that. Now, that bottom section of the ramp was better. But, as always, another time I got a little curious as to what I want it to look like, so I decided, let's get back to that battle tech. So we're going to just kind of pick up right where I left off, exactly where I left off. Excuse me. Yeah, I put a little fire under my arse in this one. Get a little more production done here and get things wrapped up. All the real difficult, kind of needed to be seen stuff should be kind of done with the conveyors and all that. So that's why I don't feel too bad about speeding this up just a little bit extra. Because this part is just the design, whatever you want it to look like kind of part. The conveyors and that, they're the real kind of finicky part. Because to a point, you can make them the way you want. But then on the other point, you got to make them the way the game wants so they work. So that's why I like showing them at a slower speed. Just in case anyone, wants to copy along. Then they don't have to pause it so much, hopefully. Because I know pausing video and rewind and all that, it can be a tedious damn thing when you're trying to copy something. Or even just to follow a tutorial if they get a little bit ahead of you. I do that all the time. Say, no, stop, rewind, no, back. Prep. Start over. So yeah, just kind of trying to fill in the little holes as I go and kind of give it some armament. And I don't really want to overburden it with guns. I do want it to kind of be where if it's in front of me, it dies. If it's beside me, it'll get picked at. If it's behind me, why didn't I turn around already? I don't know, it's all good to have a big block of guns and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I'm trying to get away from for my builds, my battle builds. Because you can have 1,000 guns, which is awesome. I like the firepower, honestly. If I can hit that spacebar once and kill something bigger than me, that's a job well done in my book. But then it lags the snot out of my game. And I know the game ain't optimized, but my computer being on the little old side, it has a little hard time with the big stuff. It does surprisingly well, though. Like, I give it credit where the credit is damn well due. My PC has done me proud. It owes me nothing. And I'm just glad it's been so reliable. But as it gets older, who knows? So yeah, we get that wrapped up in there. Just trying to think of how I want to fill in that center section. I don't want to leave that open with nothing but a shield to protect it. That wouldn't be very good. But you know one thing that is kind of good? Are those 3D printed techs that the guys at Grab It make. They're pretty cool. You want me to tell you something a little extra? I'm going to assume you said yes. That I got this little thing I started up. You might have probably already heard of it. It's what I'm calling the Donation Appreciation Program, where if you feel like you would like to help support my channel with more than just help with fueling the tank with comments and all that awesome stuff, you could find my little link in the description. It's set up, my paypal.me link. It's set up for $2 in US. And if you send it on my way, you know, I'll got this little giveaway I'm trying to get started up. And the donations are to help fund my channel, which also helps fund that, and which makes the prizes bigger, better, and more awesomer. But what it'll do is a donation will put your name in the proverbial hat, and from there, you could just be the next owner of a 3D metal printed tech from the guys that Grab It. Now this is a contest that I'm putting on, and I've talked to them. They have no problems with it, but this is my baby, as we'll say. They're providing the text, but you know, this is my idea, not theirs. So if there's any issues, it'll be kind of talk to me kind of thing. There shouldn't be. That's why I decided to use PayPal. I figured that'd be a safe way to have any money transfers. And then the only information I ever am going to ask of you is a name that would match your username. Or no, I need a private message on YouTube, so it'll have your YouTube username. And all that message needs to say is basically, I donated, the PayPal name would be this. So like whatever's going to show up on your PayPal transaction. And don't worry, I'm not going to share nothing. I don't do that. I'm just here to have fun and maybe better my little channel. And I would not do anything that would hurt anybody or jeopardize the possibility of us having a good one. That's why I wish everybody a good one, because I find it very important to have one. And I will do nothing to wreck it. Like this guy. He's starting to have a good one. Look at him. He's starting to take shape really nice. I'm still kind of questioning if I want that silo right at the back, because it kind of looks like he has 4 arseholes. Not sure. I have to see how that turns out. I am liking that, though. A little stepped kind of action with the angles. Yeah, let's do that. Don't want to cover it up. I know you can technically cover it right up, but then you lose any kind of aesthetic appeal that you may be able to get out of it. Now, yeah, we better do something here Because I've been kind of slipping away from shielding this thing for some reason. It's like I forgot it's a battle tech. I'm not allowed to have moments like that. At least not before it gets, or not after it gets into the campaign. It must be wrapped up and finalized before this thing sees a campaign trial. Or a creative campaign trial. So I don't know if I'm really going to want to take all the time to build up a new... Well, actually, my other playthrough's still going alright. It should still work in this newer update. I just don't think I have the money for this thing. So I got a feeling this is going to be a few $1,000s. That's why those creative saves are awesome. You just load them up and go and test. I know, everyone can probably saying, what about the creative? Creative mode, creative mode, creative mode. What about the enemies? That would be my reply. There is none. Not that I've ever seen. I've only really played in it twice, and as soon as I seen there was no enemies, or no way to bring in enemies that I could find, I lost all interest. Because that's big part of testing. That's why my creative saves originally got thought up for me. Was so I could take my big guys in, I could run them against the real game, and I could run them and destroy real enemies. So it's either the R&D, which now we can have enemies, so I'm thinking that probably in the creative mode there will be eventually. So that would be cool. But then, I don't know, I'm still probably going to have my creative saves, because I don't think there is a better way to test than in the campaign. Because then you're getting a wide variety of enemies, you're getting just wherever you happen to be, and you don't have to pick each enemy that comes at you like you would in the R&D, and that's kind of what I figure they'll do for the creative mode. Now there's been some really good suggestions too on how to handle that. And the one that I like is, I forget how it was put, but basically it's like a peaceful sliding bar, as I'd put it. Not trying to steal anyone's suggestion, just trying to get it out there, so hopefully we get some support behind it. But basically, you can, in creative mode, you could have it set to peaceful, not a dang enemy anywhere. But you could set it to like super hostile, and you'd have like normal campaign experience. And then whatever notches in between would have varying results too. So maybe you get like 3 enemies, or then on hostile you get like 6 enemies, or things like that. I'd also like the one to be for like a wave spawn. So you'd have, say, 6 enemies pop up all at once, like an encounter. I'd like 10. Depending on what they are, I think 10 could be an awesome battle. Especially with a couple of techs that I want to test out again. Because a lot of my old monsters, they haven't seen any action in a while. And I'm thinking I might try them out with the new game and see how they run. Because they were laggy as snot then, but they might be alright now. And that's the thing that surprises me. Is I've been kind of keeping an eye on like the views and all that of my videos and stuff, and maybe not as close as some other people, but I've noticed there's a pretty solid average of about 130 views per video that happens fairly fast. I'm not going to say overnight because there's a few that aren't, but out of all of them, all my new videos seem to be slowly climbing up in views. And when I put out like a monster, the views tend to go pretty good. But I got a whole playlist of monsters that I don't even think they have over 100 views each. And now, not that I'm really missing the views or anything, but I'm more surprised that you guys are missing out on some of my best builds. You might want to check out that Monsters of Terra Tech playlist if you haven't done so already. It's got some nutty stuff in there. If you think what you've seen on my other videos is big, you should maybe check that out. Because like I say, those Monsters of Terra Tech, that's what they are. They're my biggest builds. Some of my most complicated builds, and they only get better. Because I can't call them a monster until they reach that size and that complexity And I'll tell you, I got a couple ones, like my useless machine. That's going to be a new monster. That's probably going to be my next new monster. Like the hooded nightmare. That's a monster. I got to finish its video, though. Been having a hard time getting some good stuff in my creative save with that. It takes so frickin' long to shoot. It's like a 40-second wait at least. Oh, maybe not. Might be better now. I don't know. Yeah, I got a bunch of videos I gotta do. I'm just kind of biding my time, waiting for things to all line up and work out good for me. But I'm gonna have to stop waiting one of these days and get some stuff done. Just take what I can get, kind of thing. So there, we'll kind of get the back end buttoned up. Still got our fuel, and how do you like that? Got the silo hit. That looks like an hourglass or a little sphincter. Well, I guess it's fitting. It's at the back. It's in the middle. Things come out of it. Yeah, I almost forgot. I need a little bit of defensive action back here. I almost got nothing. Well, like 8 guns and a couple flamethrowers? That's alright, but, that is a little light compared to what I normally do. Here, let's try something though. Oh, yeah, that ain't gonna work. There's nothing in the middle to attach to. At a moment. So let's go this route. Yeah, there was some block suggestions I was gonna make too for that. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. And the rockets still work right through the drills. It's a good thing this game, it doesn't worry too much about the realistic side of stuff. Because I think if they did, this game wouldn't be nowhere near as cool. You gotta keep the fun factor in mind. And so far, they've been doing alright. They've been kind of hurting themselves with forcing this crafting so much, but I think they'll figure it out. If you're wondering any suggestions on how to fix this crafting forcing problem, don't limit the trading stations. That's like the worst idea. You're forcing people to play the way they don't want to play, they're not going to play. So I know I try all the different ways at least once in a while. I think that should be acceptable. But there, that makes a mess of that guy. Oh, set my sights on this one. But as I go lay a hurting on him, I think I'm going to call this one right around in here. So if you did like what you... Oh, nice. That blew up cool. So if you did like what you saw, fuel up the channel. Throw the likes, the comments, and all that awesome goodness that you guys bring down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Ding the bell on top of it. That's always a good idea. It really is. Helps fuel the tank. Lets you know when I have something new that you will hopefully be just as interested in. And I hope you know that I do appreciate all the support you guys do throw my way. Like, I don't say that lightly. And don't forget about the Saturday Showcase. And if you'd like to participate in the Donation Appreciation Program, you could be the next one with your own 3D printed tech. So until next time, everybody, nice. Keep being the awesome and keep having a good one. Bye.